The facts are Israel, the IDF care more about the Gazan civilians than Hamas does. When have you ever heard of a Hamas member welcoming Gazans to come down into those tunnels and have some of the food they stole, that they're feasting on? You don't hear about that, right? They started a war with Israel. They knew we'd retaliate, right? Did they ever build any bomb shelters? We build bomb shelters for our people. We're the ones always saying, please move from this place, go to a safe zone over there while we deal with Hamas over here. You know, they purposely want their people to die. They say it. And there's definitely no orchestrated starvation campaign of Gaza. And look at this. This is the most ridiculous thing. The starved Gazan child that you see circulating suffers from a genetic illness and is in Italy. That's right, not in Gaza, in Italy. He starred in this starvation campaign. He was the poster boy, right? And his name is Osama al-Rakab. He suffers from a disease called cystic fibrosis, CF, and that's why he looks like this, not because of starvation. And not only that, Israel approved his transfer for medical treatment in Italy. So it's total fake news. It's propaganda at the expense of a sick child. Poor child. One day he's going to grow up and see how people lied about him when he's in Italy. Also, you have the United States. You have them confirming that this photos of a child starving is fake. And you see that the Americans there are giving out aid, and the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, and they're giving out so much aid, and people are thanking and praising the Americans, thanking President Donald Trump. That's not something people want to see. Hamas does not want you to see that. But they're exploiting their own population. They're exploiting their own civilians for their own gain. They're also robbing from their own people and reselling it back, like the meat that even the Arab countries, United Arab Emirates, was it Jordan, dropped, that you saw it in yesterday's video, that I did. They dropped this aid. Now you see those meat things are taken by Hamas and resold in the market. Ridiculous. So we're looking at the expansion of the Abraham Accords and what's going to happen when this is all over. We're believing that Hamas will be disarmed and they're going to have to either leave, surrender, or else. And that or else is coming really, really quick. You heard our Minister of Defense say the gates of hell are going to open if they don't stop messing around. You know, they don't want to take a deal. Well, they're going to have to find out what happens. So there's a Senate Foreign Relations Committee hearing that's going to be talking about Azerbaijan and Israel doing a diplomatic and energy ties, one with together. So I'm really, really excited that there could be potentially another country joining those who love peace. Those who love peace, those who love Jerusalem. And you have Israel's ambassador to Baku, Azerbaijan. His name is George Deek. And he really said what an amazing historical cooperation there has been between Baku and Jerusalem. So, and also you have Daniel Shapiro, former U.S. ambassador to Israel, also spoke about what an amazing thing can happen as the Abraham Accords continue. And, you know, I look at the history of Jewish people in Gaza, not just recently with the 21 communities that were there. I'm looking at you see in this Jewish grave of someone from World War II who was buried in Gaza. You think of synagogues. I understand that the largest synagogue in the whole of the land of Israel from the Byzantine period was in Gaza. Jewish synagogue. There was lots of Jewish synagogues in Gaza. Quite a history there. When Solomon ruled, when the Maccabees ruled. And so you really have these people that just want to see the world burn. They're called jihadists. That's not what we want to allow for. That's why I'm serving today. That's why I continue to go in. And that's why I keep wearing this uniform for now 661 days. And I'm going to continue to make sure, not only, don't just pray that the war will end and a ceasefire will happen. Pray that victory, pray from tragedy to triumph, victory for Israel, okay? A return of the captives of Israel, not just from Hamas tunnels, but from the four corners of the world, that they'll make aliyah, okay? Not when they are forced out of their countries, but when they can come in dignity. Psalms 44 verse 5 says, through you we push back our enemies. Through your name we trample our foes. I don't trust in my bow, and my sword doesn't bring me victory. It's the God of Israel. Keep us in prayer.